Well, it's time to make a video on tearing these two apart. These are water purification systems that I bought a while back in an auction. They're from University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. They're Minipore Elix 10 water purifiers. They're not the same. They're very close. Actually, looking from the outside, they're almost identical. But I'll give a real quick rundown. Water goes in this end. Water comes out that far end. Water comes out very clean. There used to be two items in here, same as that one over there. I don't know what they are. And I couldn't find the manual specifically on this unit. They may have been UV filters. I'm not sure. I don't see any wiring going to it. So, as I said, I'm not sure. What went here was the pre-filter. And in here was the pump. So some of the best parts of this thing are already gone. Oh well. But what I saw was these toroid transformers, and I figure those two by themselves covered the cost of this equipment, picking it up. Plus there's lots of other cute things in here. So idea is to tear it apart, lay out all the parts, trying to keep it all wired together, and then go over the electronics. So this might take a while, and I'm doing it off camera for the tearing apart because there are sharp plastic edges on some of this. And there's the wires going to the electro deionization unit. And here's an electro deionization module. Plumbing there, connect up there so I can remember how to hook it back up. And the wiring from the electro deionization module goes up to number 2, 7, and another one underneath there. And more wiring goes up to the just a contact switch, probably to make sure that it's got these modules in there. So this controller board here seems to have most of the relays on it, and probably some power supply components on it. So I'm just going to make a nice little video of that so I can figure out where everything goes back together. And it looks like this is just slides in, so it should be really easy to take out once I disconnect everything. So there's that board taken out. I removed this one front plate off. They actually had it both screwed and tape glued on. They didn't want that thing rattling, so I can now get at this board here. And it's kind of cute how they mounted it with the nut there, and then you just slide it in. So here's one of the back fittings. It's just a pressure fit with an O-ring on the inside there. Oops. So I should be able to salvage these out. Not sure what I'd ever use them for. And now disassemble that part and pull it out. So at this point I've got most of the innards out, and I just need to concentrate in this area. So it shouldn't be much longer, at least in your time. Disconnect the power plug going in. Not sure what this black one is. This is some type of lockout, but don't know. Or it's an interconnect between two machines. But I don't have anything that fits into there too well to get it out, so it might be a bit destructive. Well, I got that disconnected, and it leads to number 9. Oh well, whatever. And next, go after the grounding connection. Oh, that part's been taken out now. All that's left is the power switch and the toroid holder. Well, it's now disassembled, and there's actually no screws behind that label. Get this. They even used those weird screw heads on the feet. Oh well, probably some production reason for it. So let's take a look at this now. We have the power coming in here. Goes over to the switch. When you flip the switch, power is applied both to the toroid transformer and also straight to the board. The transformer here is basically powering most of the stuff on the board. Let's see. There we go. It's red, blue, 120 volt. Secondaries are orange, 38 volt at 83 watt. Gray, 11 volt at 18 watts. And green, 10 volts at 2 watts. So it's a nice little transformer there. And that all goes over to here. And then on the board, we've got some bridge rectifier. Let me just grab a pointer. I'm doing this holding it. I don't normally hold the camera. Okay, oops. Bridge rectifier here, bridge rectifier here. A small bridge rectifier here. And this is for the board here and going over to this here. This is actually from the other unit, but I'm pretty sure they're more or less identical. Now, the AC though was coming over to here, and that feeds those solenoids. The solenoids actually are AC, because if you take a look down here, that there is the hot and neutral coming in, and they go straight over to the relays. And there's the relay controls pins over here, and that outputs straight to there, along all these nice ones here. So these are AC 110 to 115 volt, 50 hertz, or 100 to 120 volt, 60 hertz, 11 watt. These solenoids, this one here and this one here, is a two-way. So basically when you activate it, it pulls the plunger, could be up, could be down. I have to find the specs on it. This one here though is actually a three-way solenoid, and when it gets activated you can get the liquids coming up through here. And the fancy name for all of that plastic down there is manifold. So you can basically design your channels which way you want everything going, and then just attach the solenoids. Now, have over here three pins. Then you've got another thing here and another thing here. I think they might be measuring the conductivity of the water to check the purity. I'm guessing. Then the plumbing goes over to this, which is a regulator to go off to everything. So that gets powered from here, and so these are 5 amp 30 volt DC, or they can handle 250 volt AC. As I said, they're on the AC mode here. That connector there, the red and the black, comes up Goes down this cable. Oh, not that cable. Goes down this cable. And ends abruptly. That was going to the pump. So there was the pump control. This one here goes over, lands up eventually over here. And this whole unit here is for, by the looks of it, the electro deionization module. And maybe I'll pop this thing open and see what's inside. But if I do that, it'll be a different video. I want to research it first, make sure I'm not destroying something that I might be able to use. Now, over here, we have the controls coming out. There's this one here. Goes all the way over to this one. This, there's no label on it. It could be just a shut-off valve, or it could even be restricts the flow. My guess would be it's a shut-off valve. Then it comes up to this here, and that is a straight, simple one-way valve. Lets the fluid flow. Well, couldn't see my other finger flowing that way. Now, on this board here, I might have to pull it out separately since everything's connected right now. Oh, and that weird thing here just went over and connects up. I have no intentions of trying to do a schematic of this thing. Here's something interesting. It's afterthought or just different models. Oh, there it is. Number 4 comes out to a resistor. The actual plastic case for this is virtually identical to the other one, which has different electronics in it. So there's probably a lot of reuse within this. Now let's see, this is just a straight power supply going in. There's just too much clutter on the board for me to try to figure this out. Then we come over to this fancy ribbon cable. So here's the display unit. I've taken the plastic off. Obviously this chip here, I'm just going to go by the number of pins it has, is probably what's controlling this whole unit. We have connection to the rest of the world over here. Most likely the memory or parameters that need to be inputted for the thing. We have a real-time clock. I'm not sure if this one has a built-in battery or not. I'll look up the specs. It's a DS1687-5, and I'll stick it in the corner there. On the flip side here, we have the display. Ooh. Boy, does that ever look like gold to me. And we have a blob. There we go. So this was made in 2003, September the 20th. This label probably got stuck on there. Not sure if there's much I can do with this. Oh, this was made in Hong Kong. Those solenoids over there are made in Switzerland. So, parts from all over the place. Now, for this here, the sole purpose of this board is to control the electro deionization module. And I will look up what that thing actually does do. But basically it has power coming in over here. Output goes out there. And that's about it. I'm not even going to try to do a schematic on this. Only other thing I didn't mention on this one here was there's actually a nice little fuse holder, vertical type here. And then these two here are actually inductors. Dual inductors, actually. And it does say L1 and L2 over here. But if you read the fine print, there we go. So there's an inductor here, inductor here, inductor here, and an inductor here. And I would suspect there's probably a bit of shielding around this thing. So that's about it for this. Went a bit longer than I thought, so I didn't tear the other one apart. But it is almost identical, except it doesn't have the deionization part in there. So I don't know if it's a cut down model or what. It also didn't have near as many relays, so it's doing something slightly different. But the two of them, I'm going to be getting some nice toroid transformers, a video, and if I ever decide to make something weird and wonderful, I've got lots of, well, lab-grade solenoids and a bit of plumbing. And the nice thing about this was, it's water. Here's the guts from the second one. Big difference is that there's only one solenoid, so there's less components on the board. And there's some modifications to this one also. But the cases are almost identical. Obviously they have different version numbers for different levels of purity, etc. But I'm just guessing. Have a good day. Bye.